Yo, what is going on, homies? It's your boy Stumped back for another OPTC video, and in today's video, we're hopping into the Garp Challenge Worst Generation, utilizing two side teams. So this is the first team, utilizing versus Shanks. So that was the team, those were the supports. Let's dive in. Now, the notable support for this particular team is the Perispero, the free-to-play Perispero from Kizuna. You can pick him up from the Kizuna shop. He doesn't cost that much. I think he's something like 100 Kizuna tokens, or he might be like 30 or something like that. I can't really remember too much, but he's not expensive. What the hell's going on with this connecting? There we go. He's not too expensive, so I definitely pick him up. If you have the metal, like the Kizuna emblems, as he's actually a very, very good support. And for this particular team is all cerebral fighter, so it actually works very, very nicely. The key for the team is you want to make sure you have Luffy, Sanji, as well as Rayleigh in the middle slots, as both Opera and Kuma are immune to blow away, which means like once we get to the final stage, we don't have to worry about that blow away mechanic. It works really, really nicely, and this team actually gets it done fairly well. It doesn't have a lot of legends on it as well. It has obviously Luffy, Sanji, and the new Shanks, but like we are using some rare recruits, which is quite nice. Oh, excuse me, which is actually quite nice, and it actually functioned really, really well, and was actually a lot of fun to run. Most of the time, most people are going to be running Roger, and I do understand why. Like, Roger's just an absolute weapon when it comes to this particular piece of content. He's great because he can lock the orbs. You guys will see that in the next team. At the moment, we're focusing on my boy, Shanks. Unfortunately, I got a really bad RNG roll for this particular stage. I got a lot of characters on the one-turn cooldown. If you guys don't kill these guys on the first turn, they actually roll your specials back. But look, it's not a big issue for most teams. The only time that this has ever been a real big issue is when we were doing Garp Challenge Hody. When you're doing Garp Challenge Hody, some teams bring supports to get around the special rewind, so there's also that. Once we hit the next stage, we come up against the worst generation, well, the start of the worst generation anyway. We come up against Bonnie, Apu, and Big. They're going to give our right-hand side recovery orbs, left-hand side bombs. You know the drill. Bombs hurt. They remove our sound effects and special effects, and then they make healing, or meat orbs. I think is it meat orbs? Yeah, they make meat orbs do damage instead of actually healing. So, obviously, like, the whole gimmick about this particular stage is if you don't hit your perfects, you are going to take a bunch of damage. Lucky for me, like, I actually knew these teams, like, this team's attack patterns really well. I actually hit, like, a lot of my perfects, so it actually worked really, really nicely. Once we hit stage 4, though, we come up against EGOgotic. Now, EGOgotic, he sucks. You guys have heard me ramble on. If you've been watching all these Garp Challenge videos, you guys understand how much I hate this particular stage. The big reason I hate this stage is because you have a damage limiter. Like, damage limiters are actually, like, the worst, as you can only do a certain amount of damage every single turn. So on the first turn, you can do 500k, then you can do 1 million, then you can do 1.5 mil, then you can do 2 mil. With the Strength Decks and Quick teams, you can actually, like, bypass this, and with Int, you can actually use V2 Blackbeard to get around it as well. But unfortunately with Scythe, there's not really a way to get around it. But if you guys do know a way, please let me know in the comment section below. I am incredibly intrigued to find out a way to get around this, and I would love to test it out. Once we do hit the 2 million though, we are going to pop our Kuma special. Kuma's actually going to give us a chain, like a chain boost for 3 turns, as well as after 2 more turns, giving all of our Cerebral and Powerhouse characters, I think it is. It might be Cerebral and something else. It's definitely Cerebral, but it gives our Cerebral characters matching orbs. Well, changes their color orbs into matching. Because he gives us a 3-turn buff too, we can actually carry that chain buff into the next stage. And once we hit the next stage, we are basically just going to pop our Rayleigh special, which is really, really cool. Unfortunately, Rayleigh just limits the fact that we can't use another special. So you can't use like the Magello special to lock orbs or anything like that. But what you can do, you can actually use the support of Perispero. As you guys saw at the start, we do have the Perispero support, and the beautiful thing about utilizing Perispero is that we can lock all our Cerebral characters' orbs. Because we get an attack boost and an orb boost, and we have the chain buff for this particular team as well, plus we bypass barriers and defensive effects, it actually works really, really nicely. What I would highly recommend doing there is actually switching with Luffy Sanji. That way you can actually get a recovery orb on them, and that way you can actually just like keep the recovery orb as well. But lucky for me, Shanks just coming in clutch and actually gave me a Psy orb on Sanji, so it worked out quite nicely for me. On the Blackbeard stage, he gives us the orb, what do you call it? The orb barrier. So you have to hit 3 grades to break it, but obviously with Verse Shanks, we are going to abuse that. We can use one of our Verse Shanks specials. That way we can get a base stat boost as well as an orb buff. We can destroy this stage with the Opera special because we have an orb boost. We can actually get color affinity, and Blackbeard just gets absolutely melted by Shanks, as it goddamn should be, by the way. If that doesn't happen in the anime, I'm going to be pissed. But knowing Oda, it's probably going to go the other way. On the final stage, we come up against the Onigashima trio. They blow away our bottom row, which doesn't matter for this particular team, and they captain swap to our middle row. Because we're running all Cerebrals and Fighters, even if you do get Rayleigh, the meme that is V3 Rayleigh, you actually have a good captain, which is actually pretty ironic. But We are going to use the Luffy Sanji special. That's going to give us a monstrous attack boost. We can use the Shanks special to give ourselves a base stat and an orb boost. And then we can finish it off with his versatility to get a conditional boost. Anywhere along the line, like, you can use your other Shanks' versatility. You only really need one of them. So if you want to run like hybrid him and Roger, it actually works really, really nicely. But as you guys will see here, like, we have a butt ton of damage, and like Luffy, like, he don't even stand a chance. But that was the Shanks team. It was actually a lot of fun to run. I had a really, really good time building this team, and I had a lot of fun actually running it. But we're gonna move on to the Roger team now, and this is probably what most people are actually doing when it comes to this particular piece of content. Alright, so moving on to the big dog Roger team, this is what it looks like. There are no supports as well. Like, Roger just does what Roger does, and he clears content very, very easily, and obviously the Garp Challenge Worst Generation is no exception. So that was the team. There, like I said, there are no supports. Let's dive in. With this particular team as well, we actually get both our bottom row units blown away, and like, we just don't even care. Like, Roger has so much damage and so much output that it literally doesn't even matter that you lose 2 of your units. I hypothetically wanted to use the Germa special on the turn before, but then I realized I was going to lose, like, lore, so like, I wouldn't actually have an orb boost on that particular stage. When we do get Germa 66 plus, this team will actually work a lot nicer, because you can use Germa 66 special, go there for 3 turns, get the 3 turns of the orb boost, and then when they switch back, like, it's not going to matter, because you're going to have an orb boost anyway, or they're actually going to stay captain, which will actually work a lot nicer as well. But nevertheless, this particular team got it done, and it got it done very, very easily. Like, this team had no issues whatsoever. I think maybe the attack pattern at the end was a little bit of a difference. But even with Shanks' crew becoming your captain and only being a 4.5 rainbow captain, it didn't matter at all. Like, Roger's just, he does stupid things, and this character is just, he's so busted. And the fact that he's almost been out for a year now, and he's still the best character in the entire game, as he should be though, right? Like, it's good, goddamn Goldie Roger. But it is a testament to see what they will do with the new New Year's banner. And what if they do like a collab event, or if they do anything like that as well. So we'll have to wait and see when that comes around. But hopefully it does trump. Well, I don't know how you do trump that, but hopefully it does trump last year's New Year's. But once we hit stage 3 is when we start getting into the crux of the content. We come up against Bonnie, we come up against Apu, and we come up against Fire Tank Beach. They're going to give our right-hand side recovery orbs, left-hand side bomb. They remove our sound effects, and they make it harder to hit perfects. You guys know the drill here. Bombs hurt, recovery orbs hurt. It just, everything hurts. But thanks to Roger, we can use his super typing, and we can just give ourselves a full board of orbs. We can say wham, bam, thank you, ma'am, and we can actually just take out this entire stage. Just be mindful, like, hitting perfects is a little bit tricky. So you might have some struggles, but, like, it's not that big of a deal with the switchability of Shanks' crew. Once we hit the heroic stage, we are going to be stuck here for 4 turns, as he does have that damage limit. Starting at 500k, going up by 500k each turn, and he only lets you use 2 specials, which is very, very annoying as well. Like I said, if you guys know any way that Sai can actually get around this, please let me know in the comment section below. I would love to know if there's a way that Sai can do this. I haven't really given it too much thought per se, but the fact that all the other colors can actually get around this sort of leads me to believe that there is a way for Shanks, oh sorry, not Shanks, for Sai to actually get around this. I don't know if Rayleigh can get around, like, would V3 Rayleigh work? Because it's not a defensive effect, right? But, like I said, if you guys know a way, please let me know in the comment section below. I'd be super intrigued to try it out. I'd be super intrigued to check it out. So if you do know someone that has done it already, feel free to link the video in the description. Like, sharing is caring. Like, I'm happy to help out anyone. And if you guys know of anyone, please let me know in the comment section below. Like, I'd love to see it. But Roger doesn't have much issues just hitting like perfects here and just actually getting enough damage output. With the switchability of Shanks' crew, you can get like a 1.5 times attack boost as well. So like you can get more damage output, you can get some more matching orbs. And like I said, this particular team is just raw power. It does not struggle one bit. If you want to replace Rayleigh, you can just replace Rayleigh with literally any like threshold remover. That should work absolutely fine. As long as they don't rotate orbs on the Zoro killer stage, like you will be hunky-dory, and you don't have to worry about that too much. But once we do take out your rogue, once he hits the 2 million, we can move on to the next stage against Killer and Zoro. They put up 4 turns of threshold, 4 turns of end of turn damage. You can't rotate your orbs here, and Killer actually has a barrier, which is a little bit annoying. The barrier is like, I wouldn't say it's the most annoying part, but like for most teams, like it's up there, you know. But what we're going to do here is we're going to use the Roger super typing. That way we get our full board of orbs and we lock them. It doesn't trigger the interrupt, which is really, really nice. We can use the Rayleigh special. Rayleigh's going to give us color affinity, even though we can't use it. But he mainly is going to remove the threshold. We're going to finish it off with one of our Roger specials. That way we can get a nice chunky attack boost, and we can take out this team in 1 turn. Ideally, you want to take out this particular stage in 1 turn, as you want to hang on to those orbs when we move into the Blackbeard stage. Blackbeard's going to give us that orb, like, barrier for 3 grades, and he also does, like, a bunch of damage, as well as binding our healing for, like, 13 turns, I think it is, 11 turns. He has full immunity as well, which kind of sucks, but with Sai, it's not a big issue because we do have type advantage. We're going to pop our Law special. That's going to give us an Orb boost and a Chain Lock. And with that, we're just basically going to decimate Blackbeard. Like, we don't really need anything else. If you want to, you can use the Shanks crew special first and then get the carry over the Chain Lock. But, like, as you can see, like, it really doesn't matter. Like, so much damage to this team. It's just so much damage. Once we hit the final stage, though, we come up against Law, Luffy, and Kid, the Onigashima trio. Ideally, you want Germa to become your captain. That way, like, you get the, like, rainbow affinity. But, as you guys saw here, I actually got Shanks crew as my captain. Nevertheless, it didn't matter too much. I actually had plenty of damage, and it actually didn't matter at all. All we're going to do on this particular stage, we're going to use the Shanks crew special, we're going to use the Germa special, and we're going to use the Roger special. That's going to give us a monstrous attack boost, 3 times attack thanks to Roger. We're going to get a 3.5 times chain lock, become a 4.5 times captain with Shanks crew. And then we should get, I think is it a 2.25 times orb boost with Germa? It might be a 2.5 times orb boost for side characters. I can't exactly remember off the top of my head, but nevertheless, it is a lot of damage. Ideally, you do want to hit with your Rogers last. Rogers are the ones that, especially if you have them limit break keyed, are going to do the most damage. And as you can see, we can absolutely decimate this stage. So that's going to wrap up the video, guys. Hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, make sure to go down there and belt the like button for me if you're new to the channel. Hit that big red subscribe button too. But guys, wherever you are in this beautiful world, please remember to enjoy the rest of your day. As always, homies, I thank you for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Lates!